What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to Family and Fit, where we talk fitness and how to integrate it in your busy lifestyle. So, I talked to you guys in one of my last videos about diet extremes and how I advise diet extremes when it comes to losing weight or bulking, especially if you're in a setting where you can't really track your macros as well or track your calories as well. And basically the whole concept of that is if you're in a deficit and, say for instance for me right now, I'm only consuming 1,200 calories because of this competition, I'd be better off with going even lighter in the calories, so hitting 1,100 or 1,000 calories. Now for me, it's a little bit more tricky because I'm already so low on that scale that I could end up having hormonal issues and whatnot. But if you're just doing a regular diet and it's not like a competition style diet, then you could definitely get away with this a lot better, where you're still making progress and you're not messing up on your diet. And you can do that a lot easier, and you can do it very effectively and intuitively by just going to more extremes. So say for instance somebody who is doing a more traditional diet, your calories may be 1,800 calories per week, but then instead you consume more like 1,500 calories. So if you're bulking, you want to be consuming a little bit more calories. Now, some of this might vary if you're, depending on the type of body style you are, and depending on like the way you store your fat and whatnot. So say for instance me, even in a bulk, I wouldn't go extreme on the plus side of my bulk, because I generally put on fat way too easily and I don't gain a lot more muscle for the amount of fat that I put on. So for me, I would just probably try to stick around maintenance calories in a bulk. Now that's different for like somebody who's a hard gainer and just doesn't gain fat or muscle very easily. And like, so for me on the diet side of things, on a calorie deficit side of things, it makes a lot of sense for me to go on the extreme of that. Now, if you happen to just lose fat really easy and like you're a hard gainer, maybe you want to go back to maintenance and you don't want to stay in a low calorie deficit because you just don't have issues with losing fat or staying skinny or whatnot. So just kind of keep that in mind, that your own personal body does make a big difference on how you should go about executing your diet and how you should do it whenever you're traveling or you're at work or you just happen to be in a position where you can't track your calories as well as you need to. That's actually not the main topic of this video. That's not the main thing that I wanted to touch in this video. The main thing I wanted to really focus on in this video is whenever you're going from extremes of like taking a diet break versus being in a diet, because some people will struggle with this, and this is actually something that Ashley has a hard time with doing. She'll want to do something like grab a frappe, drink the frappe, be like, okay, it is what it is, and like I'll do stuff like that as well. But the issue is when the next day she's like, oh, well, I'm fat, I'm all bloated and da-da-da-da-da, and like I'm not making progress with my diet or whatever, and then just like not want to eat, and she's like, oh, I'm not gonna eat at all, I'm not gonna do anything, or I'm not gonna eat anything sweet, or I'm not gonna do this and that. It's just an unhealthy habit to have, to like consume something you're not supposed to have and then the next day try to make up for it. It ends up being a bad habit and a bad like healthy choice, and it's something that I just don't advise. That's where you get issues with like having food disorders and when you could potentially get into issues with like people having like bulimia and whatnot like that. That's the same type of concept for people who do have like bulimia or other food eating disorders, is they essentially you may overeat one day, but then they feel like they have to go make themselves puke or something like that. Now that's something that Ashley does not do, but she still has that unhealthy mindset behind it, where she wants to consume like a frappe one day and then the next day wants to try to make up for it in an extreme manner by way under eating or just basically doing unhealthy type of dieting techniques. Now there's certain things that, like, say for instance, like there's people who do like 1 meal a day. That's just part of their diet regimen. I don't consider that unhealthy if it's part of your diet regimen, but like you don't want to go and eat 1 meal a day just because you messed up the day before. Now, like I said, if that's your diet regimen and you eat 1 meal a day or you intermittent fast or whatever it is that you do, great. But don't try to implement some type of new dieting technique the next day just because you made a mistake the day before. Just get back on top of your diet and make sure that you're gonna continuing your good practices and practice healthy habits with your foods, because it's just not worth it to have an unhealthy relationship with foods. It'll make you depressed, it'll make you feel like you're not making progress, it'll make you feel like you just don't have willpower and whatnot, and you don't want to feel like that. You don't want to just go through those negative emotions, especially in a diet, because dieting's already can be difficult enough. Dieting's easy, but dieting's also hard as well, so that's just something to keep in mind. Alright, so guys, if you thought this video was helpful and you want to see more videos like this, make sure to hit that subular button and the notification bell so that way you get notified when we post videos, because we're currently posting like multiple videos a week, generally 2 to 3 videos a week, and here within like the next month or so, we're going to be posting daily videos with different fitness tips, tricks, and just vlog style videos with the family and whatnot. We're trying to portray the message of, you know, having a family and living a busy lifestyle and still being able to integrate fitness into our lifestyle. You know, sure, we may sacrifice on some of our gains, and we may not make as much progress as some people out there, may not even make as much progress as other fitness people who have kids, but that's not what we're trying to show. We're not necessarily trying to show how to make maximum gains and how, you know, because you never know behind the scenes what sacrifices they're making. They may not spend any time with their kids just because they have kids, and they might just, you know, sacrifice the time with their kids just so they can go to the gym and do that all the time, whereas it's something we're not really willing to do. We want to, you know, have a nice, healthy balance for us. You know, it's all depending on what you want, but we want to have a nice, healthy balance of spending time with our kids and still being able to hit the gym. That's why I still haven't really focused on my legs too much, and I focus mainly on upper body, because I just don't want to implement more days in the gym at this point in time, especially being in a deficit, because it just makes it harder for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut my mouth and get up off of here. I'll give y'all some more fitness tips on the next one. Like I said, hit that subular button. Peace out. Peace out.